What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I said in a previous video, I don't know if I'm going to do this one first or that one, so I'm just going to repeat it real quick. I have the majority of the emails that I get from men are concerning the roles and how the roles, ROLES, how the gender roles are shifting, changing, especially as it relates to finances, how it's making a difference in their relationship, and they're wanting to know my opinion. So I've been doing some thinking, and I kind of made about 2 or 3 videos about the subject, and I want to discuss it again and see if we can't get a little more understanding. I want to first say, for myself personally, I believe in the traditional roles of men and women. I think that it's not something that a man put into place or a woman put into place. If you look at it, if you really pay attention to it, it is what we do by nature. If nobody ever taught us or trained us, it's what we would do by nature. By nature, a man will protect, he will lead, he will provide. He's going to do that by nature. By nature, a woman is going to nourish, she's going to support, she's going to do that by nature. Now, if something comes in between that, a toxic environment, or if something hits that, then of course it can change that outcome. But by nature, all things considered, that's what you're going to get. I just want to tell you why. That's where I stand. I don't stand. I mean, everybody got to do what they got to do. So it's not about, at this point, it's not about right or wrong or anything like that. I'm just telling you, Professor X, I am a traditional man. I believe that a man should be a man and a woman should be a woman. And if you are married or living together, then that has to be discussed and worked out. So, with that being said, let me ask, have you all heard this? Maybe told in a complaint form, where a woman will go to work, and let's say they've got kids, and when she gets off work, this has been going on for a year or two, then she gets off work and she's complaining that she's not getting any help around the house. She's complaining that she now has to work, cook, clean, take care of the kids, take care of her husband, and still find time for herself, only to get up in the morning and do it all over again. Have you all heard of that before? So I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. What I wanted to do with this one is, let's go back and see how we got here. And ladies, I'm gonna be honest with you, hold on tight, because it's not that I'm blaming you as individuals, but women started this uh, change, to use a lighter word. Women started this change. So let's go back and look at it. When we go back, it wasn't men who said to their wives, to their woman, well, let's start over. When you go back and look, the role of a man was to pretty much take care of everything that happened outside of the house. He would work a job, he would do the yard work, different things like that. The house then became, the inside became the woman's domain. I'm talking before they actually started working. She would take care of the kids, the cleanliness of the house, and traditionally he would come home to a hot meal. The family would eat together, chit chat or whatever, go run, take care of their chores. Y'all understand what's going on. That was the traditional way. Okay. When that changed, it was not men who said to their wives, I'm tired of every time I come home, you ain't made no money yet. I need you to get out and go find a job. I want to be clear because the way that women, some women, not everybody, I know nobody on my channel, right? But some women that speak very loudly, and social media can speak very loud, some women would lean towards somehow that's what happened. That we asked y'all to go into the workforce, and then when you did, we offered y'all no help with the house. Let's be very clear. You heard it here at Professor X Perspective Channel. When women went to work, they went to work because they wanted to be more than a housewife. They wanted pay, equal pay. They wanted equal opportunity as a man. The bottom line is they were tired of doing just being a housewife. They wanted financial independence. They wanted liberation. Remember, this is women that's desiring these things. Men were not championing this. Remember, our role was already set. We're going to provide, protect, and problem solve or lead. Our role was already set. Women wanted to be more. So off women went into the workplace. And when they started working 8, 10 hours, the traditional role of a woman was broken because now she comes home and realizes I still have to cook, clean, and do all the things that I normally would have done before I went to work. And now I'm having to do that by myself. Pay attention though. So a man's role never changed. Women left their role to do something more than what we said we needed them to do, but because they wanted to be equal and have all of those things, they went and did it. But their initial role then was abandoned. And then they turned around and said to the man, why aren't you helping me with my role? Did y'all see how that works? Y'all, listen, I'm not saying y'all should not have went to work. Just pay attention to the reality of what happened. Y'all wanted something more. So you actually took a second job. Your initial job was to really be a housewife, to take care of the home. You took what I'm going to call a second job outside of the home to make money, to be independent, to be free. Then you wanted equal pay. Then you wanted equal opportunity. And when you came home and still had the burden of children and the house and the man and your personal time, then you say to the man, why aren't you helping me? And if enough women say it, then now it's like, well, what's wrong with you, man? Because a real man would help his wife. Are y'all listening to me? Now all these women all of a sudden is speaking on what a real man would do. A real man would help his wife cook, clean, and take care of the kids. Now, again, I'm not saying that if you are in a relationship where both of y'all are working that the man should not help. I'm not saying that. What I want to get across is women took the initiative. This is something they wanted to do. And in order for them to do it, they then turn to the man, and y'all not going to see it this way, and say, I need you to continue to do everything that you're doing, which is to protect, provide, and problem solve or lead. I need you to keep doing everything you're doing at a high level, and then come take 50% off of what I'm supposed to do. We ain't talking about the job you go to. We're talking about the traditional role of a woman. Cook, all that, all those things. I need you as a man to do everything you normally supposed to do as a man. Because if you don't do that, we're going to call you out. And when you done with that, show how much more of a man you are and help me with the load of this house. And if you don't do that, you're not a real man and what I need you for. And the whole time, not one man was saying this is something that I wanted anyway. Ladies, I hope y'all listening. And so the roles become melted in. I just seen something online not too long ago that most of the housework, 50% of the domestic work in the house is done by a man. Today, 2025, 50% is done by a man. What was done by women was like 20-25%, which still means that children was involved to even do the other part. That's the change of the roles. And that's what we're dealing with today. And women, some women have the audacity to say, I'm not going 50-50 with a man, but he has to do 100% of what he's supposed to do as a man, and then 50% of what you're supposed to do by nature as a woman, from my point of view, in a traditional sense of roles, who takes care of the inside of the home, which is everybody knew that it was the woman, but now everything is progressing supposedly and moving on. So it's all being shifted where, hey, let's work, I need your help now because we want to get into the workplace and we didn't realize it was going to be so taxing on us. So why don't you be a good man and help me out? Why I got to tell you to vacuum? Why you can't cook every once in a while? Why you can't? And again, I'm not saying that he shouldn't. All I'm saying is when we want to look at where some of these gender role changes are coming from, we cannot forget that it was women's liberation and financial freedom and equality that wanted them to leave the house. They were not satisfied with just being housewives. The man was not saying we need you to go make more money so we can have more eggs. Women wanted to be more. And in accepting more, it caused them to have to let something go in the house that now the man had to pick up the extra burden to assist her in what she naturally and traditionally was supposed to be doing. And the roles are going to continue to change. As I already told y'all, they're going to continue to change. But it starts right there. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't get offended. I'm not saying women shouldn't be working. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying it definitely takes a conversation, because a traditional man and a traditional woman, there are roles that must be partaken of. A woman not gonna do hit 50% of what he got to do. A woman not gonna protect the family. Not if they husband. She not gonna protect the family. Now a single mom. I'm talking about married couple here. A couple that live together. She not gonna protect the family. She not gonna be the provider of the family. She not gonna lead the family. His responsibility. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Get in the comments and let's talk about it. Where did it start? When women was no longer satisfied with being housewives and wanted equality with men. And now, whatever years later, this is where we are. Where now we're battling on who's gonna do 50-50 and who's gonna do what. When everybody already know the man has to do all of his role and half of hers. Y'all hit me up in the comments. Don't get too mad. Bye.